Welcome to the Spotlight FX studio. We're excited to have you join us today. My name is Travis Parigi. I'm the founder at Liquid Frameworks, and I'm happy to have Matt Dana with us today. Matt is the product manager for Field FX at Liquid Frameworks. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Thank you.
Today we're going to be talking about the e-ticketing module within the Field FX product suite. This is the flagship module within our product. It's been with us the longest, and it is a very, very deep product. It's a very wide product, and it offers a tremendous number of features, and it supports a ton of different use cases. So today what I thought we would do is go through some of the high level ones and some of the most common ones. So we're going to focus on it within the context of our mobile application. That's where we see the most usage take place within the e-ticketing module. So I thought today what we would do is walk through some of the most common use cases and most common ways that people use our product. So Matt, you think you could walk us through some of those things within the context of the mobile application?
Absolutely. Yeah, so what I'll do is just show you a quick demo here. So keep in mind the primary persona that we're taking on here is the field engineer or the field technician, but we're talking about the person who's doing the work, executing the job at the well site or at the refinery. And so I want to show you, and they're primarily doing all that while offline. And so what I want to show you is how we can start up a new job here. So if I click new job, and then I'm going to select my customer. We'll select our segment. So this would be our product line that we're doing the work for. I'll select my office. And so as I'm doing this, the system is making sure that it's triangulating down to the right price book. So one of the big benefits to the system here in the industries that we serve is that we talked about it on the other Spotlight videos as well, but making sure that you're staying contract compliant, making sure that your price books are tied to your customers, your quotes and your tickets are all generated from that price book, rather than having to figure all that out after the fact.
So price book triangulation, you're specifically talking about making sure that out of the thousands of price books that our customer might have, that the field engineer is not burdened with having to select the right one.
Yes.
Mobile will figure out that price book on its own and triangulate to the exact one.
Exactly.
Powerful.
Exactly.
Very nice. What about tickets? Tell us a little bit about
so tickets. So once you have a job, then you can start creating tickets. So a primary use case would be you have a job that goes on for a week. Every single day you're doing a field ticket for that job. You're getting signature from the customer on a daily basis. And so if we click new ticket here, fill out some basic information about the date, hit save, you'll see that it takes us to within the context of that ticket. So this is where I can go in and start tracking what I was doing throughout the course of the day. What do I need to bill back to the customer? Fill out my JSA or any safety forms, get the signature from the customer, et cetera. So you can do everything from within your context of your ticket here within mobile while offline.
So as far as what you did and what you used in performance of the job, what kinds of items can you add, and what types of things can you put onto this ticket?
That's a good question. So it can be configurable based on how you have set up, but typically it's going to be labor. So a technician for a certain number of hours can be different pieces of equipment. If you're charging equipment out or equipment's on rent, you can use equipment tied to serialized assets, which can drive your utilization. You can track any services that were provided, any third-party charges, cost-plus charges for subcontracted equipment or labor. All that can be tracked from within the context of your ticket, and that all ties back to accounting at the end of the day.
So once I have all these things on my ticket and I've tracked exactly who was on the job, what they did, what they used, consumables, actual equipment, now I want to get some type of customer-facing document put together. How can I do that within mobile? And talk a little bit about the different ways that we can accomplish proof of delivery.
Yeah, so we have technology that specifically allows for generating reports back to the customer. So all the data is entered throughout the course of the job, throughout the course of the field ticket, and then you click on reports here, and you'll see that it automatically brings up a report that is branded up with the service providers. It looks like it would look on paper, just that it's within the system. And we have some very unique features that allow you to capture proof of delivery from that customer. So features like geolocation tagging. If you're doing water hauling, unmanned well sites, a lot of times proof of delivery can be accomplished by just tagging the job or the ticket with a lat long coordinate. But on this customer facing report template, you'll see that we can click and we can upload a stamp. So very common in the industry, and the oil field industry specifically, is capturing a stamp from a customer. So the customer has a physical stamp, they can stamp a piece of paper and they can sign it, and you can use your device to take a picture of it and upload that directly into this report template. So it gets us out of the business of having to carry around paper and print out tickets and scan tickets back in. In addition to that, we have some proprietary e-signature technology. So if I click here, you'll see that it allows me to go in and sign, and then the customer can go in here and sign. And then we can finish off our ticket.
It looks like you sign it with a mouse, but I could sign it with a stylus or
Yes.
on an iPad, any type of
Yes.
finger signing or whatever you need.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so since we're doing the demo here on a laptop, I'm signing here, but the app is HTML5 and it runs on iOS, it runs on Android, and on those devices you can use your finger for the signature. On a laptop you can use the mouse for the signature.
That's great. So you've done all this offline. What happens whenever I get a connection back to a network?
That's a good question. So it's an auto sync, it's background sync. And so essentially the system is constantly polling for changes that I'm making and changes that are being made on the server that I may need to sync down to my device. And to the user, it doesn't really look like anything. The user just completes his ticket and logs in, and the data is pushed back and forth bidirectionally. And so the user's not burdened with having to sit and sync and wait on something.
That's great. So speaking of all that offline operation, just to sum up, it's important for us to note that you can initiate all of the quoting, all of the job creation, all of the ticket creation and completion, all while offline and all from scratch.
Correct.
So the whole entire quote to proof of delivery workflow can be done totally initiated offline and without having any type of connection.
That is correct.
That's fantastic. Well, we've just scratched the surface, obviously, with this module. There are a tremendous number of other features and depth to this module, and I would certainly encourage you to learn more about it. But we've also noted how this module is seamlessly and holistically part of the overall suite, and it touches so many other modules. So I'd also encourage you to go take a look at the other videos that we have on Spotlight FX talking about those various other modules. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for showing us the product, Matt.
Thank you.